Nobody really talks about this part of awakening. The part that comes after the light, when everything you thought you knew about peace begins to fade into silence. Everyone loves to speak about the beauty, the bliss that feels like heaven touching the skin, the calm that melts through the noise of the world, the synchronicities that dance around you like whispers from another dimension. You feel connected to everything, like the trees breathe with you, the stars blink for you, and every sound in the universe hums in harmony with your heartbeat. And then, without warning, it begins to shift. The golden warmth turns into a gray stillness. The signs that once guided you grow quiet. The voices of intuition that used to speak so clearly become whispers you can barely hear. The people who once felt like your soul family begin to drift away, their energy moving elsewhere, leaving you standing alone in a vast spiritual field. You start to wonder, did I lose it? Did I do something wrong? Was it just a dream? You replay every meditation, every prayer, every sign you once received, searching for the moment it slipped away. The silence becomes heavy, almost unbearable, and your mind begins to panic. You ask yourself, why does the universe feel so far away now? But what if I told you, this isn't punishment? This silence isn't rejection? This emptiness isn't a mistake? It's not bad karma returning to you. It's not a sign that you've failed your path. This is the universe gently, lovingly, testing the strength of your awakening. Not to break you, but to reveal how much light truly lives within you. Because real awakening doesn't end with bliss. It begins with the test. The universe removes the noise, the signs, the comforts, so you can meet your own soul without distractions. It takes away what is loud, so you can finally hear what is eternal. This phase, the silence after the light, is sacred. It's where your faith stops being an idea and becomes your breath. The universe is not abandoning you. It's initiating you. It's asking, can you love me even when you can't feel me? Because awakening is not the end of your journey. It's the beginning of your transformation. The moment the universe hands you back your own power and says, now, walk with it. The real journey doesn't begin when everything feels beautiful. It begins when everything goes silent and you still choose to trust. So if you feel lost right now, remember, the universe hasn't left you. It's watching, whispering, waiting to see if you can hold the light inside your own heart, even in the dark. The silence after the light. At the beginning of awakening, it feels like the entire universe is opening its arms to you. Colors look brighter, sounds feel sacred, and every heartbeat seems to whisper a hidden truth. You wake up each morning with tears of gratitude, feeling as though the world finally makes sense, as though you've remembered something ancient that your soul always knew. Synchronicities appear everywhere. Numbers, songs, feathers on the ground, as if the universe itself is speaking your name in secret ways. Every encounter feels guided. Every word feels like a message, and you think to yourself, I've arrived. This is what enlightenment must feel like. But then, one day, without warning, the fireworks stop. The signs vanish. The voices of guidance grow silent. Meditation feels empty. Prayer feels unanswered. You sit in stillness and hear nothing but your own thoughts echoing back at you. And in that quiet, a seed of doubt begins to sprout. Did I lose it? Did I do something wrong? You try harder. You meditate longer. You search for the same spark that once set your soul on fire. But the more you chase it, the further it seems to go. What if the silence isn't a loss, but a sacred pause? What if this emptiness isn't punishment, but preparation? The silence after the light is not the end of your awakening. It's the initiation into a deeper truth. It's the universe asking, can you still trust me when I stop holding your hand? Can you still walk forward when the path ahead disappears into fog? Because silence is not abandonment. It's the sacred womb where something new is being born. The universe hides to see. If you can still see, the divine withdraws to see if you still believe. And in that darkness, in that aching stillness, you begin to hear something even softer. The voice within. The same light you thought you lost was never gone. It just moved inside you, waiting for you to listen. This is the real beginning of transformation. When you stop searching outside for signs and start becoming the sign yourself. The silence, though painful, is sacred, because in it, the noise of the world fades, and the truth of your being finally speaks. That's when awakening becomes real. Not in the fireworks, but in the quiet strength to keep your heart open, even when nothing answers back. The light will return, but not as it was. Because this time, it won't come to you. It will come from you. Too. The inner test, not the outer one. The real test of awakening never unfolds in the noise of the world. It takes place in the quiet corridors of your own mind, where your thoughts become both your teacher and your test. It's not the storms outside that challenge you most. It's the whispers within that ask, what if none of this was real? What if I was just imagining it all? When everything feels uncertain, the mind starts to panic, trying to regain control, searching desperately for something solid to hold on to. You may find yourself questioning every sign, every feeling, every moment of grace you once trusted so deeply. And in that questioning, you realize this is not the universe turning its back on you. This is your own shadow asking to be seen. The universe never tests to punish you. It tests to reveal you. Every silence, every delay, every heartbreak you encounter is not rejection. It's reflection. It's showing you what still lives inside. The small corners of fear that still whisper, "You're not enough." It's revealing the parts of you that still cling to control, to outcome, to certainty. It's the universe saying, let go of the illusion that you were ever in control at all. Every trigger you face is a mirror, a divine reflection showing you what's ready to be healed. When someone hurts you, it's not just about them. It's about the old pain inside you that still believes love must be earned. When something leaves your life, it's not loss. It's the clearing away of what no longer matches your frequency. And when you feel resistance rising, that's your soul stretching beyond what once felt safe. The mind will tell you to run from discomfort, but the heart knows that healing lives inside it. The real battlefield is not out there in the world. It's within the space between your thoughts. The true awakening is not about escaping the test. It's about realizing that you are the one creating it, so that you can finally see yourself. Every emotion, every fear, every doubt is sacred material. The clay from which your higher self is sculpting your freedom. Can you face what's rising within you instead of running from it? Can you look directly into the mirror of your own heart and say, I am ready to see all of me, even the parts I once denied? Because when you stop running, when you turn toward the pain instead of away from it, something miraculous happens. It loses its power to control you. The test was never about surviving the storm. It was about remembering that you are the sky. The more you resist the test, the louder it gets. But the moment you surrender, everything softens, and the lesson reveals itself with grace. This is not an outer trial, but an inner initiation. The alchemy of fear into faith, of control into trust, of pain into wisdom. The silence, the doubt, the ache. They are not signs of failure, but the sacred fire refining you into something clearer, stronger, more awake. And as you stand in that fire and refuse to flee, you finally understand you were never being tested by the universe. You were being tested for yourself. 3. Old wounds resurface. Just when you start to feel steady again, when you finally believe the storm has passed, something unexpected happens. The past knocks on your door. You begin to see familiar faces, hear familiar voices, feel familiar emotions. The ones you thought you had outgrown long ago, old wounds you buried so deeply begin to rise, like forgotten echoes surfacing from the ocean floor. You wonder why it's happening again, why the pain you worked so hard to heal seems to find its way back. It can feel unfair, as if life is dragging you backward when all you wanted was to move forward. But these moments are not punishments. They are invitations. Invitations to look again, to see the same pain through new eyes, softer eyes, the eyes of wisdom. Because the light you carry now shines differently. It doesn't destroy the shadow. It illuminates it. The shadows are not enemies. They are simply parts of you waiting to be welcomed home. Every old wound that resurfaces is an unopened letter from your soul. A message saying, there's still something here that wants your love. Sometimes, it's not even about the people who hurt you. It's about the parts of you that still believe you deserve the pain. Healing asks you to look at that part of yourself and whisper, you didn't deserve it. You were just trying to survive. And suddenly, what once felt like weakness becomes the most sacred doorway to strength. The universe brings back the same lesson, not because you failed it, but because you're finally ready to master it. You'll meet the same situations, the same faces, but this time, something within you responds differently, with peace instead of pain. That's how you know healing is happening. Not because life becomes easier, but because you no longer break in the same places. This isn't regression. This is purification. Every tear you shed is a prayer. Every ache in your heart is a doorway. Healing doesn't mean forgetting the wound. It means learning to hold it with compassion until it no longer hurts to remember. The light doesn't erase your scars. It teaches you how to wear them like jewelry. Proof that you've lived, that you've loved, that you've grown. And in that moment, you understand that what returns to you is never meant to break you. It's meant to show you how far you've come. What once triggered you now teaches you. What once hurt you now humbles you. What once defined you now frees you. This is the cycle of awakening. Not one grand moment of perfection, but many small moments of remembering and forgiving, again and again. The path to peace is not about never being wounded again. It's about knowing that even when pain visits, it no longer stays. So ask yourself gently, what pain is asking for your forgiveness right now? Because the moment you forgive, you free not only the past, but the future that's waiting patiently for you to step into it. 4. The isolation phase. There comes a sacred season in every soul's awakening when the world begins to fade. Not because you've lost it, but because you've outgrown it. It starts quietly. The people you once laughed with begin to drift away, not in anger, but in silence. Conversations that once felt full now feel empty, as if you're speaking two different languages. One rooted in the old world, and the other whispered by your soul. You may look around and realize that the things which once excited you no longer move your heart. It feels as though the universe has taken you out of the noise, out of the chaos, out of the places you used to belong. You find yourself alone, not by choice, but by divine design. The silence grows thick, almost heavy, and you start to wonder if something is wrong. You might ask, why did everyone leave? Why does everything feel so still? But the truth is, no one left. You were simply being pulled higher, into a frequency where not everyone can follow just yet. Isolation isn't punishment. It's preparation. You are being retuned, realigned, reshaped from the inside out. When you are alone, the universe can finally whisper the things you could never hear in the noise. In solitude, your soul begins to remember its own voice, the one that got buried beneath everyone else's opinions. The silence becomes your teacher. It starts showing you what's real and what was never yours to begin with. You begin to see how often you look to others for validation, for comfort, for identity. And one day, You realize that being alone is not the same as being lonely. Loneliness comes from searching for someone to fill the space. Solitude comes from realizing the space itself is sacred. The universe isolates you so you can learn the beauty of your own company. You are never abandoned. You are being held in a different way, in a quieter, more intimate way. Is as if the universe says, come away for a while. Let me rebuild you. In this quiet space, your energy begins to reset. The noise within starts to settle. You start to realize that solitude is not emptiness. It's fullness without distraction. It's here, in the stillness, that your soul rewires itself. The version of you that once sought approval begins to dissolve, making room for the one who simply is. This is where you learn to be your own friend, your own anchor, your own light in the dark. And when you finally become comfortable in your own silence, something shifts. You stop chasing connection and start attracting it naturally. You see, solitude doesn't mean you've been left behind. It means your soul is being prepared to meet what's next. Every spiritual transformation begins with separation. Before the flower blooms, it hides in darkness. Before the dawn breaks, the night grows deepest. So when you find yourself alone, remember, you are not lost. You are being found by your own soul. Trust this silence. It's not emptiness. It's the sound of your soul returning home. Can you trust that being alone is not the same as being lost? 5. Trust without proof. There comes a time when the universe grows silent. When every sign, every synchronicity that once guided you suddenly fades into nothingness. You look around and realize the magic that once surrounded your days has gone quiet. And in that quiet, you begin to doubt. Not the path, but your own ability to hear it. You search for confirmation, a sign, a dream, a whisper from something beyond. But the skies stay still. The answers you used to find outside are nowhere to be found. And that emptiness feels like betrayal, when in truth, it's an invitation. Because this is the moment when faith is no longer just a comforting idea. It becomes your practice. It stops being something you talk about and becomes something you breathe, moment to moment. Faith, not as a word, but as a way of being. Can you still walk forward when you can't see the path? Can you still trust that the unseen is guiding you, even when every sense tells you you're alone? That's the test. Not of belief, but of surrender. The mind will fight this stillness. It will crave evidence. It will ask for signs, for miracles, for something to hold on to. But the soul knows that silence is not absence. Silence is presence. Too deep for words. It's in this darkness that awakening becomes embodiment, where your spirit stops searching for light outside and begins to realize it is the light. You don't need to find what you already are, because real faith isn't proven by signs or miracles. It's proven by stillness, by your ability to stay grounded when everything in you wants to run. Faith is when you keep walking, even when your feet can't see where they'll land next. It's when you whisper, "Thank you," in the middle of uncertainty. It's when you trust the hand of the unseen to hold you through the unknown. And maybe, just maybe, that's the whole point of the path. Not to reach some perfect destination, but to learn to trust without proof. To keep your heart open when nothing makes sense. To love the unseen enough to walk with it. Because the greatest miracle has never been in what you can see. It's in your ability to keep walking when you can't. So if you find yourself standing in the middle of this test right now, where everything feels uncertain, where the ground beneath you seems to shift with every step, remember this: you are not lost, you are being shaped. The storm is not against you. It's refining you into someone stronger, someone clearer, someone ready. Don't run from it. Don't turn away from what feels uncomfortable. Don't doubt the very path that your soul begged the universe to walk before you were even born. Every trial, every silence, every ache. They are not punishments. They are passages. You haven't lost the light. It only changed form. What once guided you from the outside is now guiding you from within. The light didn't disappear. It simply went home to your heart. The light didn't leave you. It's learning to move through you, to flow like breath, to rise like dawn from within your own soul. The outer lamp had to dim, so the inner flame could remember its power. You're not being tested because you're weak. You're being tested because you're ready. Because life only gives the deepest lessons to those who have the strength to live them. The universe doesn't send storms to destroy you. It sends them to remind you that you are the calm in the center of them. It's never about surviving the test. It's about remembering who you are in the middle of it, So take a deep breath. Slow, deliberate, sacred. Feel it fill every corner of your being. Let that breath remind you that even in your uncertainty, life still moves through you, gently, patiently, endlessly. Trust the process. Even if you can't see the destination, trust that the path itself is alive, that it knows where it's leading you. Every step, even the shaky ones, are part of your unfolding. And if these words found you at the right moment, if something in your heart whispered, "This is for me," then take it as your sign that you are exactly where you need to be. Leave a comment with not just as a symbol, but as a declaration. A small light you offer back to the universe saying, "I'm walking this path too. I'm still here. I'm still trusting." And before you go, remember to subscribe. Not for me, but for you. So that each message that comes will serve as a quiet reminder of who you truly are. A soul awakening, one heartbeat at a time. Because this journey isn't about finding light somewhere far away. It's about realizing you are the light, and you always have been.